Welcome back to Carina Coen channel. Today I'm going to do a little skincare ritual. As a lot of people in my country, in the United Kingdom, have been a bit naughty and all going out in their thousands to the beach. So there may be some red faces and red bodies tonight. So what I'm going to introduce to you is a few little simple ideas of cleansing and cooling the skin down. So I'm going to start off, first of all, before we even begin this ritual, I'm going to light a gratitude candle. These are beautiful candles I bought from a girlfriend. No whether her shop is still open, the Angel shop, the Angel Room shop. And these are from America. They're Reiki energy charged candles. I can write a little bit about them in the feed below if you want to know more. But before you do any ritual, it's a very good idea to light a candle. Just brings in that feeling of gratitude and purification. And the music I'm using today is called Elements. And it's Alan Rubik. I got it on beyondword.com. It relates to the work of Dr. Emoto, Messages in Water. Because the water that I also use is Nikken water, which is purified. Again, I can put some notes in the feed below. So it's not just about products for me as a beauty therapist. It's the whole emphasis on your senses, what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you're putting into your body as you drink, what you're putting into your ears, what you're putting into your eyes, what you're breathing in. It's all your senses, and it gives you a heightened sensory perception of everything in your life then. But you don't have to be as into all this as me. You can just skip to the cleansing just after about 2.5 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take my first product, which is a gentle foaming clay. It's a facial cleanser. I don't know whether you can see this very clearly or not. It's kaolin and oat. And so I use this because I can easily buy it locally, but I just also like it because it's very natural. So I'm putting quite a little bit of powder. I'm using a tiny little, it's almost like a fairy spoon. So this is a tiny little spoon, but you can use maybe half a teaspoon. And then I've got a little bit of water. It's hot water that I've mixed a couple of face cloths in. And so my fingers are quite hot, the tips of them. And I mix that hot with a little bit of the powder. So I'm like making a paste in my hands, you can see. So continuing to make a paste. That's filling in all the powder. Best place to do this is probably the bathroom. Then we're going to start on the neck. Little circular movements. Dipping your hand in the water if it needs to be. Then up onto the face, and not forgetting the other side of the neck. Again, it's always tilting, looking at the mirror to make sure that you're not missing other areas. And going into the lips. Dipping in if you need more water. Up onto the forehead, the sides, into the brows, and under the eyes. Using up all the clay, mixing into the nose, in between the lips and under the nose. Again, just dipping your hand into a little bit of the water, mixing it completely. Now you can mix both hands And again, just go over, and you'll start to feel it go a little bit dry, because you could actually use this as a mask as well. So this is where you're really massaging the face and the neck. Little circular movements. You're using the top of the 4 fingers, both hands. Again, dipping your hands into the water to keep it moist. Working into the hairline, into the eyebrows. Again, always making sure that the hands are slightly moist and remembering a towel underneath. Paying close attention to underneath here, because if you are wearing sunblock, which some people agree, some people disagree with, it can actually clog up the pores. So it's particularly this T-zone that you pay extra attention to. So now you've got your little hand cloths ready. You can use a face towel. I'm using cotton mitts today, just round circular ones. Now, holding them in my hands, you can see I've just put the 2 hands forward, clipping it around. Same, 2 hands forward, 2 fingers forward, clipping it around, then going up and down. They're like following each other. Back into the water, squeezing off the excess water, going back again, holding them firm, going from the chin and out, underneath the lips, under the nose and out, the sides of the nose, the top of the nose, gently rubbing in and out. Circles around the eyes if you like, but just be very gentle going in under the eyes. You must always be gentle around the eyes. And then nice circles around the forehead, up into the hairline if you like what you did on the neck, going back and forth. Okay. So just going over again to make sure that you've got no little bits of clay left on you. Starting from the base of the neck, and you can go a little bit behind the ear as well. Following across. And again, across the jawline, across the chin, across the lips, under the nose, across the sinuses, like it's across the middle of the cheeks. Be very gentle going under the eyes. Very, very gentle. Center of the nose. Up around the eyes, very gentle underneath the eyes. And again on the forehead. So it just makes it a more thorough cleanse. Excuse my little mess here. So now we're going to move on to the cleansing stone. So this is like a green clay and an aloe, and it actually has a bit of shea butter in it as well. So I'm dipping it back into the water. Now I'm going to put the towel just a little bit up on the table. This is probably best to do in a bath. Now that the stone is warm, I'm going to hold it on its side and keep it moist and go back and forth on the forehead and down over the nose. Keeping it moist is the big thing. Again, mainly focusing on the T-zone area. That's usually what needs the most deep cleansing, the smile line. Always dipping it back in to keep it moist. So this is the face mask bar. Focusing on the chin. And you're going to almost feel it harden. Again, just a little bit under the chin. Now for those who have greasier skins, you can move this to outer parts. But generally speaking, I like this mask bar to be used in the center of the face. Again, it's very important that you always keep it moist. The best place to do this is in the bath, because then you have the steam of the water coming off the bath, and it's much easier to keep the bar moist. Again, underneath the lips. Okay. So now I'm going to press pause and just get some fresh water. Okay, so I'm back with some fresh water in my bowl, but it's a little bit hot, so I'm just going to let it cool down. But this is where we can actually implement the cooling down phase with cleansing. And not everybody has to do this. You can do this separately if you want. But what it does do is it prevents any burning on the skin. Now, not everybody this would be suitable for. This is called ice therapy. This was made in Turkey, but I think it's kind of originally a Russian idea of using ice on the skin. So it works on many, many different levels. There's a herbal sachet that you put in 100 mils of boiling water. So this is kind of like a bit like Blue Peter. Here's one I already made. That's what it turns out like. So I'll be able to kind of give a little bit more description in the feed below as to what this is. But what you do is you place the water into this container, and then you cover it with the top, and then you put it in the freezer. So now we're going to play around with this now, because remember that this little bar mask is going, you can see it kind of changing color. So I'm going to hold this in my hand as I can, because I'm used to doing this, but a lot of people tend to prefer holding it in this, almost like an ice pop lolly, and the top of it will come out that you can work across. So I'm using it slightly differently. So doing little circular movements across my forehead, and you can see how the mask is melting, and then going down the nose, either side of the nose, and underneath, going across the chin, again, there's no right or wrong way of doing this, but you only really need it like for anything up to sort of 10 or maximum 20 seconds. You can go out into the cheeks a little bit if you like, but just be careful because it is very, very cool. But it could be very soothing if your skin's hot. Again, going back up to the top, going back and forth, going back down the sides of the nose, across the cheeks, down the sides of the nose, across the cheeks, underneath, holding the chin out, stretching it out, and then a little bit under the jawline. It may be too cold to use on the neck, not for me, I love it, but some people find it too cold and they find that they find it's dripping cold water down. Okay, so that was literally sort of between 10 and 30 seconds. But you can see what it's done with the face. You can see it feels lovely and cool at the moment. And that's the kind of the purpose of today. It's cleansing and cooling. But now we're going to rebalance things back with the heat. So now at the base of the neck, as long as you don't have heat rash, if you find this too hot, please put back in more cold water and make sure it's a very cooler temperature for you if you feel it's too hot. So starting from the base of the neck, working back up, all across the neck, because again, this is always lifting the neck. Going from the base of the chin across, going across the lips, and you'll start to feel a lovely balance of temperatures. It's like a rebalancing of temperatures. We have a thing called homeostasis in the body, and we tend to forget about the skin being an organ that often needs that balance of hot and cold. But it's really important that you do the right temperatures for you. If something is too cold, like in the ice therapy, only do it for 10 seconds. If you can take more, the maximum is up to 30 seconds. And you can follow the guidelines on the ice therapy instructions. And again, I'll give more information on the feed below. So back to dampening down my cotton again, my cotton pads for cleansing. Continuing on with the face. So now the face feels really, really clean and clear. I have to say, actually, it feels amazing after that. Okay, so we're going to finish with a little bit of the Hydrating Toner and the Ultimate Beauty Balm with neroli and frankincense. Again, I'll write all these down below just so you know more about the product. So I'm just going to wash my hands. So to finish, as I say, we're going to use a little toner. This is where I have organic cotton pads. And again, I'm dampening down the cotton pads with my Japanese technology water. If you want to find out more about Nikken, I'll have some information below on that. So taking 2 pieces of cotton that are dampened down with the water, I'm going to add a little bit of the hydrating rose and lavender into one and into the other. A toner is not for everyone, but I really like it, especially after you've been using clay masks, because what can happen is there can be little bits, like you see a little bit there. So I'm going to start on the forehead and help to dissolve that away. So any little bits of white that are left on the skin, what tends to happen is that the cotton and the toner dissolve it. And you'll feel a lovely cooling and healing sensation from the rose. And it also contains lavender, so it smells beautiful. This is a flawless vegan skincare. It's really, really lovely, very soothing. So again, paying attention, if you can hold the cotton, again, always between the 2 middle fingers, working up. Again, this is very good for the neck, very cleansing, very cooling, very soothing and lifting. And again, across the chin area, closing the mouth, going across the cheeks, very gentle under the eyes, always gentle under the eyes. People are really rough on their skin. You can even feel it. It's thinner there than it is here. So always pay attention to that. The sides of the nose and up onto the eyebrows and up onto the forehead. Again, always working up into the hairline. So now you can feel and you can check the mirror to see that you haven't missed any. If you still have little bits of white on the face, you can either go back with your cotton pads and wipe the face clean, or else you can go back again with some toner. So before I actually do my face balm, I'm going to use a little bit of Therapy Honey Lip Nectar for my lips. So again, this is what I do, is I always take a little bit out with a little wooden spatula, place it on the back of my hand, and then place with one finger, clean finger, over the entire upper and lower lip. Okay, so making sure that the hands have no other product left on them. You're now going to finish with some of the face balm. So I'm not going to be doing a full massage today, just more application. So this balm has neroli and frankincense in. So again, I'm taking on the back of the hand, force of habit, put the top back on. Taking a small amount, placing on the back of the hands, gently pressing into the neck, taking the next load, pressing, gently tapping onto the face, and the last load onto the forehead. Another little load you can place across here, which is very good for the décolleté because that usually gets quite red. So again, you can feel the softness of the balm, it just melts into the skin. So using the fingers, the tops of the fingers, you're going to gently press. Just pressing into the entire face. This is one of the best ways to get the balm in everywhere. Just press, press. And it's very good as well for soothing the skin. Least amount is usually needed on the T-zone. It depends on your skin type. And then just finishing with some upward strokes. Fingers at the center of the chin moving out. Fingers at the center of the nose moving out. And at the center of the nose bridge moving up. With the hands going back and forth over the forehead. And finish. So I hope you enjoyed that today. Take care of your skin. Take care of our oceans. Please, when you're out and about, always take a little bag with you and pick up rubbish. We can all do our little bit to help keep our oceans healthy and clean and our skin healthy and clean. Love to you on your journey. Thank you. This is Carina Coen channel.